Okay, well, thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the third annual Programs and Resources Awards Dinner. I'm retired Master Sergeant Preston Mitchell, Director of Foundation Programs at the Marine Corps Association. And it's my pleasure to be with you this evening as we continue our mission of advancing leadership and rewarding excellence. Our color guard this evening comes from the oldest post of the Corps, Marine Barracks, Washington, D.C., and is led by Sergeant Jean-Pierre Saint-Surin, the 43rd Color Sergeant of the Marine Corps. Our musical support is provided by the Brass Quintet from the President's Own United States Marine Marine Band, led by Master Gunnery Sergeant Matthew Harding. Founded in 1798 by an act of Congress, the Marine Band is our nation's oldest professional musical organization and is the oldest continuously active unit in the Marine Corps. Please rise for the presentation of the colors, our national anthem, and the retirement of the colors, and remain standing for the playing of the Marines hymn. March on the colors. Shores of Tripoli, we fight our country's battles in the air, on land and sea. First to fight for right and freedom, and to keep our honor clean. We are proud to claim the title of United States Marines. All right. Please join me in thanking the band and color guard for their outstanding support this evening. Thank you so much. Please be seated. At this time, please direct your attention to the screens for a brief video presentation.
The Marine Corps Association is the professional association of the United States Marine Corps. Founded over 100 years ago by General John A. Lejeune, who, along with a group of like-minded Marines, saw the need for an association whose mission was the betterment and improvement of the Corps through professional development, the recognition of excellence, and by expanding awareness of the rich traditions and history of the world's finest fighting force.
The MCA is a member-based organization comprised of tens of thousands of active duty, reserve, and veteran Marines, and together with our donors and industry partners, we provide a variety of resources to assist in the education and growth of those in the profession of arms. Our Total Force membership program provides premium memberships to all serving active and reserve Marines at no cost to the individual.
The Marine Corps Gazette and Leatherneck, Magazine of the Marines, are the flagship publications of the Marine Corps Association. The MCA first published the Marine Corps Gazette in 1916 as the Corps' professional journal for sharing ideas and professional discussion. Today's contributors include Marines of all ranks from across the force, discussing topics relevant to all elements of the MAGTAF, as well as leadership, innovation, and modernization. In its over 100 years in print, Leatherneck Magazine has shared the stories of Marines and friends of Marines in every clime and place, from personal accounts of historic battles to today's deployments.
To develop professional excellence in all Marines and the Marine Corps community, the Marine Corps Association provides a wide range of resources, including battle study packages, authoritative references, MCA films, podcasts, and decision-making exercises.
We also support commanders across the force with professional dinners, spouse summits, and professional leaders conferences. Through these programs, we provide Marines and spouses with tools and knowledge, as well as opportunities to hear from military, academic, and industry subject matter experts to challenge and inform their thinking. The association also partners with the Marine Corps to recognize the achievements of thousands of Marines each year.
High-performing Marines in various occupational fields are recognized by their communities, deputy commandants, and commanding generals at annual awards dinners. Honor graduates receive awards provided by the MCA at institutions ranging from the recruit depots to top-level PME schools.
Since 2015, the MCA has co-hosted the Modern Day Marine Military Exposition to provide the Corps' leadership an annual venue to engage with Congress, industry, the media, and Marines. For over a century, it has been the privilege of the Marine Corps Association to support the professional development of Marines on and off the battlefield. And we look forward to continuing to serve our fellow Leathernecks in every clime and place in the future. Semper Fidelis.
Now it's my pleasure to introduce the President and CEO of the Marine Corps Association. Please join me in welcoming Lieutenant General Charles Sciarrotti.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's great to see all of you. Anybody warm tonight? Whew, I'm sweating, so I'm not nervous. I truly am sweating in places where I shouldn't be, but I am. Let's start off the evening right. Well, good evening and welcome to this, our second annual Deputy Commandant for Programs and Resources dinner. We started off, as you recall, with a small luncheon affair, and we elevated them to the varsity leagues, brought them out of the farm leagues into the varsity leagues, and we solidified this as a program for the association to deliver. And we are truly honored to be able to be here tonight to recognize once again all the fantastic individuals that make up the community here at DC P&R. So thank you. Welcome, and give yourselves a round of applause, please. We are truly here for one purpose only tonight, and that is to gather. And well, it's probably a couple of reasons, but I'm going to start with one reason only, and that is to recognize excellence, professional excellence. Tonight, you're going to see the awardees come up on stage, the units, the individuals that have really truly distinguished themselves over this past year and have risen above the already excellent members that make up the community. And so that's why we gather here. That's why we gather as an association to be here to celebrate their accomplishments. It is one of our main lines of effort for the association. We have three of those. One is professional excellence. The other one is professional military education. And the third one is to really curate our heritage and the spirit of the Marine Corps and to pass that on to generations that will come after us. And we're very passionate about that mission and this mission that we do and what we will do here tonight. So thank you for being here. This year your association will travel and span the globe from Okinawa to force locations here in CONUS all the way over to Europe. And I always say this, we hit Europe right around Oktoberfest time. There's a reason for us to be in Europe, I believe. It's to develop our professional drinking skills, and we do that well. We're always there. So, but we will. We will do 37 different events this year, and they span the spectrum of types of events, like this professional award dinner that we do tonight, to Modern Day Marine, which is really become our capstone event, the 3-day event that takes place at the Walter E. Convention Center in Washington, D.C., where the Marine Corps gets to put on full display the concepts, requirements, and capabilities of the Marine Corps. And it really becomes an experiential journey into the Marine Corps and the Marine Corps future. And we are proud to co-host with the Marine Corps League and to be appointed by the commandants to lead that effort. So that is what your association does. In addition to that, as you saw in the video, we publish 2 magazines every month. And I would argue that they're some of the most professional military and best magazines, not because I'm biased by no means, but truly if you spend time and peruse the contents or just look at the pictures like I do, you will see that they are truly the hallmark of the Marine Corps and the foundation. And tonight we have our publisher and editor for the magazines, Colonel Chris Woodbridge, retired. Chris. And we do so much more. And so in addition to that, obviously you heard about the Total Force membership, and that is a free membership that's available. And again, our vice president for the foundation is here, Colonel Tim Mundy, retired. I know Tim tells me, sir, nothing is free. We pay for it. I call it money laundering. He says, and free, but he says, no, we pay for it. But it is. We provide gratis membership. Is that right, Tim? Yeah. We're paying for it. Yeah. Membership to our Marines, to our active duty, reserve, the midshipmen up at the academy, the candidates going through OCS, and more importantly, our spouses. We provide free membership to them so that everybody can experience the resources and read all of the magazines online for you. So please take advantage of that. We'll talk about it. Tonight I have the pleasure of co-hosting this event with my good friend, Mr. Ed Gardner. Ed was just I guess, a young man when I still had hair when I was in INL. Unlike Steve, he didn't work as hard as I did, I guess. But it's great to see that Ed is now in the position, and I don't know whether to call it acting or deputy DC P&R. Steve reminded me tonight there's no such thing as acting. You truly are the one on the hot seat, and so you are Deputy Commandant for Program and Resources. Ed, thank you for co-hosting this with us tonight. I think you have a very strategic title because, when things go bad and you have to report to the under, you're probably the deputy at that time, and you just say, well, Rain Man messed this up, so I'm here to clean up his mess. And when things are going good, you can be the acting. So let's just give you credit for both right now and do that. But truly, thank you. Rain Man, Lieutenant General Adams, before he left, a great supporter of this association. Like me, he probably attended every event. And so, he saw the value that these events bring, and he really pushed us hard to make sure that we could bring this dinner to you. And he was working hard until he got tapped, obviously, to be the director of the Defense Intelligence Agency. I saw him here about a month and a half ago when MCA had their event. I think he just just been told that day that he was no longer the P&R. His eyeballs were about this big. And I said, what do you know about DIA? And he says, nothing. And I said, well, that's good. I said, that's good. I said, he says, all I know is that I got to go testify in March. And I said, well, good luck to you, brother. So, but no, we wish Lieutenant General Adams fair winds of the following season. Wish him all the best love. He truly is a great American. And Ed, to you again, not to come off task here, but thank you. You could have said no. I don't want to do this. But true, your leadership is shining tonight, and seeing this through and seeing the value of what it is that we're going to do tonight. So thank you for seeing it all the way through. And Tracy, thank you for accompanying him tonight too. So he needs a little chaperone to be with him. So thank you. We have a very distinguished guest tonight. He reminded me that, a couple years ago, he was looking up at me, and he said that right down. He says, hey, roles are reversed now. Now you're calling me, sir. Isn't that funny? But our guest of honor tonight, and Ed will do the honors later on tonight, but truly a great American, someone who truly understands the footprints that we've walked in, the Honorable Huncow. Sir, thank you for being here. When I first met the Honorable Undersecretary, he said, hey, Chuck, why don't you come to one of my political rallies? And I was like, sir, I don't get political. I don't do those things. Had I known where you ended up, I probably... That just goes to show the foresight that I have. It's not much, but I probably would have, I missed that train, right? So, but now I'm on bended knees and I'll do whatever you like, sir. So, yeah. So, but thank you. His being here tonight truly demonstrates his priorities and the priorities of taking care of not only the Department of the Navy, but also of those who are in it, the men and women who make up this fantastic service of ours in the Navy. His priority is obviously with the Marine Corps. We know that. And to the fact that his son Gabe is going to be graduating here from the Naval Academy this spring, and lo and behold, he's going to be a Marine. I'm told that he had the choice of any MOS he wanted. Obviously, with a dad in a position, he could fly F-35s, I guess, if he wanted. He wanted a more reliable platform, but he chose to be a logistician. No, he wants to be an infantry guy. I don't know. Yeah. No, anyway, we wish him well, sir, and thank you, sir, for being here. At the head table, obviously, we have Mr. and Mrs. Gardner. Thank you again for being here. Our Undersecretary, Jimmy Norcross, Senior VP from Khaki, sir. Thank you for being here. Jimmy, Lieutenant Colonel Dave Yost, Mantech. Dave, you're privileged to be at the head. And obviously, we don't do that very often, but you're there tonight, so thank you. We've already introduced Chris Woodbridge, Woody, call sign Woody. Thank you, Woody, for being here tonight. We brought to the head table Colonel Jamel Neville, the aide. He would not be too far away from his boss, so he said I need to sit next to him. So for the rest of the sponsors who wanted to be here at the head table, you can blame him. And SES JJ Brandt-Klaroff, he's the one that keeps all the analysts at P&R in line, I guess. Is that correct, JJ? So thank you. Round of applause for our head table. I always believed this from my time on the E-Ring that, and it was very limited, thank God, but my time at the E-Ring that the most challenging position, besides the one that Steve and I filled, was P&R. And, obviously it is truly a challenging billet to fill. And for all of those who've had the privilege to do that and go through that seat, I wish them well, honestly. So, but tonight I'd like to introduce some other folks and more importantly, and not as importantly, I guess not more importantly, but my good friend Steve Skolenka, DCINL, the most important job in the building right there. Brigadier General Robert Mead, ACD, Assistant Deputy Commandant for P&R. Rob, I know you're back there. Rob is also my neighbor, and so that's good. Yeah, I don't see him anymore because now that he's a general, he doesn't talk to me. SES Greg Koval, I know you're out there, Greg. Another mere mortal who's become an SES. Great for you, and thank you for all you've done. When we started the journey of audit, you were a driving force behind that, and so thank you. And now I believe we're in our third year of clean audit, working on our fourth. So, Greg, well done. Yeah. Truly, all of you being here tonight it really shows your support for this association. We also have a handful of retired general officers, flag officers, and SES. If you don't mind, I'll call them out. As always, our good friend, Lieutenant General John Whistler, sir, thank you for being here. Lieutenant General Dennis Kroll, sir, thank you for being here. I told Dennis he looks young, and he said, I'm held together with duct tape. It's the first discussion we have as old folks, and we always go to the broken pieces. I don't know what it is, but anyway. Eggs Benedict, Scott, I know you're back there. Good to see you. Rear Admiral Jim Lobeline, where are you, Jim? I know you're here. Jim? And Brigadier General David Reese, always a great supporter. Dave, good to see you. And retired SES Don Bishop, I know you're here as well, too, Don. Good to see you. Thank you again. In addition, we have several of our board members in the House. Thank you for coming out and always supporting them. We have a tremendous board made up of about 30 individuals, board of governors, board of directors that really wear me out. They're great. No, they're fantastic individuals, and they volunteer their time to really help us guide this association through all the rocks and shoals that we face. And so I thank them all for the time that they spend, not only here, but also for the board itself. As always, I thank our corporate sponsors, because our sponsors are why we gather and how we can gather. They are the resource behind all of this. And so thank you to all of our corporate sponsors for being here. Your support is truly appreciated and enduring. So thank you for your continued round of applause for yourself. If we pick up the pamphlet really quick, we'll go through it just so that everybody has it. Obviously, as you open up, you see the Honorable's bio there. It is quite interesting, truly. As you read it, please spend some time to look at it, because it is truly, I'll call it the American story, right? The true dreams come true. So well done, sir. The agenda's on the facing page. And then down below, you'll see the bios and the citations for the awardees that are going to be in the subsequent pages there, and the individuals that will come up here tonight. And then on the back, you'll see our upcoming events, along with tonight's sponsors. And on the back, you'll see all of our major donors there. I'd like to also welcome some of our new sponsors from InfoPack. Are you here tonight? All right, right there, brother. Thank you. Kearney and Company, I think you're here. Good job. SMX and Infotech, are you here? All right, there you go. All right, good. Thanks to all of our sponsors. Just another round of applause, please. Before I turn it over to the chaplain, just a couple of things. As I always like to do is I always like to call out our families. So if you're a family member of the awardees, please stand. Thank you so much. Your awardee will be recognized, but obviously you deserve a big round of applause for all of the support that you give your civilian, your Marine, or whatever the case may be. So thank you so much for that. We have a family here, believe it or not, from Okinawa, right? Right? They didn't believe that the mom won the award, so they all had to come. And so So it's great that they could be here. We've got I think a graduate, we've got a junior, and then we've got a senior master sergeant in the Air Force. And so thank you for wearing your uniform so that you could be the target tonight. So thank you. Gunnery Sergeant Gomez, are you in the audience tonight? Staff NCO Academy? Right there. So this Marine and all the Marines from the Staff NCO Academy, please stand. Yeah, there you go. Just want to thank them for their support. They come out to our events. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being fantastic staff NCOs. And the bar's open afterwards. Thank you. Right. And then finally, one more, I just like to shine the spotlight on folks, and one of them is Second Lieutenant Chenoweth. Where are you at? There you go. Right there. All right. So 2 weeks from graduating from TBS, designated Navigator. Hopefully you never have to be a logistician, but designated, it's always a good field, but just in case. I met his father. Please sit down. I met his father in front of the Marine shop as his son was just coming out of OCS. And we exchanged some pleasantries. And tonight he's here 2 weeks from going into the pipeline. So congratulations to you. You still have 2 weeks before you graduate. Don't screw it up. Wish you well. And his father, Staff Sergeant Chenoweth, as well. Sir, thank you for pointing him out. Right. As any good second lieutenant, he went up to the undersecretary and said, "So how you doing?" And he said, "Yeah, those days will soon be over, sir." That's right. Anyway, well done. And now, if I could call the chaplain up to get us started. Thank you.
Join me in prayer. Almighty God, thank you for your presence here tonight. We ask that you are with us as we pause to honor these awardees. God, we thank you for each and every one of them and for their leadership and their contributions to the United States Marine Corps. Tonight, we ask a special blessing on them as we hear their stories and about their accomplishments in the Marine Corps. God, we know that you call each and every one of us to steward what we are given, and tonight we honor the stewards of the Corps. God, bless this food tonight, Lord, the staff that hosts this event in the Marine Corps Association. And we pray for all of those deployed, especially the leadership of our nation and our Marine Corps. Be with us in this place. Amen.
Thank you. Thanks so much. Thank you. So the chaplain spent 5 years as an enlisted military person in the Navy. And today he's wearing the cloth. So congratulations to you, chaplain. He got kicked out of the military police force, and so they did well. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy your dinner. We'll be with you soon. Thanks.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, our program will resume in about 5 minutes. So please make any head calls and return to your seats, please. 5 minutes.
Ready? Hey, he's gonna walk around with this. He's gonna walk around with the mic. So once he goes over there, they may introduce him. Just handing the mic. I think he's just gonna want to walk. Okay. So, okay. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if I can have your attention. I hope all of you have had the opportunity to eat your meal and enjoy your dessert. Okay. And so at this time, what I'd like to do is invite the acting Deputy Commandant for P&R, Mr. Ed Gardner, to the stage. Sir.
Test. Okay, we're on it. We're on and off. Okay. Hey, good evening, everybody. First, I want to give thanks to Rain Man Adams for being the director at DIA and giving me this opportunity, General Schiroti. General Schiroti, thank you, sir, for your introduction and for your continued leadership of the Marine Corps Association and for all that you do for Marines and their families. Just wanted to call out thanks to Colonel Tim Mundy, OCS, second increment Gulf, second platoon. I still have nightmares about Platoon Sergeant Gunner Sergeant Ashbolt, who I think went on to become your platoon sergeant when you got commissioned. So when I'm having a bad day, he still shows up in my dreams. So Chris Woodbridge, Colonel Chris Woodbridge, retired. Chris, thanks for everything that you do to advance the interests of the Marine Corps. We're just grateful for this event and for all of the folks that I don't even know from the Marine Corps Association. Thank you for, again, helping P&R to be able to make this a dinner and putting it on. And to the staff members at the Army Navy Country Club, another excellent event. Really appreciate your work. Let's give them a round of applause, please. And for our corporate sponsors, obviously can't call you all out by name, but it was amazing when I looked at the guest list today. The staff gave it to me in 6-inch font 3 days ago, and I couldn't read it. And I said, "Look, can you make it bigger? Because I have no idea who's on here." And when I went through table to table, I mean, I probably knew over 100 people in the room today that I won't be able to mention names, but whether it's Marines or former Marines or civilian Marines or just folks that have worked on the contractor side, most of the people in here have had a hand in the success of P&R or the success of Marine Corps Financial Managers. So this truly is a family celebration. Appreciate your sponsorship of this event. The Honorable Undersecretary Cal, sir, thank you again for being with us tonight, sir. And just take a few remarks and we'll come back to your introduction, sir. And so I want to thank some folks on the P&R team that put this together. Colonel Joel Archibald Sloth, he's our EA. You know how much they do, Sloth, are you here? Okay. Colonel Armando Martinez, Lieutenant Colonel Eugene Porter, and the rest of our in-house P&R team. Diamond Mitchell Allen. Diamond's works the front office. First Marine Corps event, first time. Diamond, welcome. Thanks for everything that you do. I know we've recognized Rob Mead, but now that General Adams is gone, if I didn't have someone like Rob to lean on, I don't know what I'd do. So, Rob, thanks for being here. J.J. Bancroft, always steady, always energetic. Anna Smith is not here tonight. She's down hard with a pretty bad cold. So, say a prayer for her, and she would be here if she could. Thanks again, Marine Corps Brass Content from 8th and I. I think they've departed, but we're thankful for their work and for the color guard. And for our distinguished guests, I know General Schirodi ran down a name of distinguished guests, but I wanted to just call out General Steve Sklenka, General Dennis Krall, BG-SOC Class 2015. There's only 6 of us left, so the numbers are getting smaller. Thanks for being here. Colonel Eric Mellinger, Fox 87. Mel, it's good to see you. Thanks for being here. And then I just want to call out there's a lot of mentors who have helped me along the way, but I just want to thank General John Winsler. He was DC P&R from about 2010 to 2013. Saw probably the first sequestration, right? First extended government shutdown that we had in a long time, helped us through that and held us accountable. Started the audit process that ended up in success here starting 3 years ago. William Roberts, now on the industry side. Took the DAI system that we were struggling with and started to sort that out. Greg Koval came in after him as another ADC resources, and Greg really is a magician and brought the process over the finish line and is now heading up Department of Navy's Working Capital Fund 2-year clean audit with a goal of clean opinion here at the end of this year. And Greg, we're honored to have you with us. Ariane Whittemore, who a few SCSs ago was ADC P&R and a mentor to me, told me that I was actually allowed to smile in meetings. I'm not sure if I saw Joe Schrader tonight about that. He was supposed to hear. We had a financial management council of colonels and senior staff NCOs, warrant officers meet this week. And so many of those colonels are here in this room. And I don't have time to go around and thank them all, but they are the brain trust and getting and solving the problems. So in particular, I like to recognize Jeff Garza, Bill Cox, Joe Crandall, just as exemplars of colonels that are there to getting it done, solving the problems. Our chief warrant officers like Mike Vitale. You know, when we were doing, we were basically in the home stretch of audit, and we had the attention of the deputy comptroller up at OSW, and we had monthly meetings. Like the Marine Corps, we found out where the talent was. We took our warrant officers and had them brief senior leadership. I don't think any other services were having them do that. Mike Vitale was in there every month seeing things through. Chief Warrant Officer Rachel Lyons, now retired, now working on the corporate side, worked many 24-hour shifts to try to get labor for the Marine Corps sorted out. And then we have like Master Gunnery Sergeant Ussery. I don't know if he's here. Master Gunnery Sergeant Schreck. I mean, they're the ones that are still getting it done as our senior staff NCOs. And then there's folks here that have never worn the uniform. I don't know if I saw John Short, but I saw Bart Pressel, Sean McHugh, Rohit Dean. You probably don't know who he is, but we know who he is. He's helped us solve DAI. Jeremy Brimmer. I could go on, and again, just in the interest of time, we'll just have to cut that off. But thank you to everyone that's here, and really appreciate your time spent with us tonight. This is a family event. So we are here to honor our very best financial management Marines and civilian Marines. And to you Marines that are being honored tonight, I'm grateful for your work. That in many cases, your families are also here to celebrate the excellence. It's your commitment to excellence and accountability that helped the Marine Corps earn a third straight clean financial statement audit opinion earlier this month. So round of congratulations to you and everybody that had a hand in the month. So just 3 quick points before we go on to introductions. First, passing the audit is not just an administrative benchmark. It represents the trust we hold with Congress, the American people, and most importantly with the Marines, who depend on the timely delivery of training, equipment, and support, and paychecks. This accomplishment aligns directly with the Marine Corps' ethos and values. And as the introductions have shown here, we didn't do it alone. We did it with just about everybody in this room, okay? So you're all a part of it, not just the folks that are getting awards. Second, we as a Marine Corps we're not beyond reproach. We have to continue to get better. We find our own problems, we report them to the auditors, we report them to ourselves, and then we go out and fix them. That's how we continue to get better. So we're not, just because we got a third clean audit opinion, some people don't really care that much. There's that's what you're supposed to be doing anyway. So the Department of War, the Department of Navy, the Marine Corps are working hard to produce faster, better outcomes in acquisition and find new efficiencies. We're going to have to adapt with them regardless of the fact that we have a clean opinion or not. To our awardees, we know you are already providing the ideas that will solve the next problems. And as part of those ideas, I'm excited to announce that for the Marine Corps Gazette, this year's Chase Essay Contest in the Marine Corps Gazette will focus on the critical topic of resources. Hosted by the Marine Corps Association, this competition is your opportunity to make a difference. The best ideas will be published, recognized, and awarded. And more importantly, we will take a hard look at every proposal and seek to rapidly implement the best ones. To be clear, this is not just for financial managers. A few years ago, Corporal Gage Barbieri, a motor T mechanic, found ways to improve the JLTV technical manual and saved the Marine Corps over $140 million and 900,000 man hours. So we need more of that, don't you think? So third, the Marine Corps' resources are growing as we gain credibility, but we must never forget that the funding we need is often a rounding error to the other services. And that's why every analyst at F&B rolls his eyes when somebody from P&R comes across the hall to complain about the $5 million that got wiped out of the database when you're doing balancing. For those of you that have done that, you understand that we'll fight for every penny that we can get. And that should lead to that mentality of never giving up as far as looking after those resources. And so now I'd like to introduce our guest of honor. Our new Undersecretary of the Navy, along with his family, has lived a life of courage, sacrifice, and service. He is a former Navy seaman, a Naval Academy graduate, and a retired Navy captain with 30 years of service in EOD and special operations, service in Somalia, Iraq, and Afghanistan. He sacrificed to run with honor for public office. But back to the PPBE process, he served in the N80 bullpen, which is the counterpart to our RPD programmers. So I think he understands what everybody's been doing the last 72 hours, balancing the database work in 18 hours. He understands that he's one of us and is now responsible for leading the Department of Navy's budget and audit teams as they work to gain a clean opinion for the Navy Working Capital Fund in 26, and then on to the Navy General Fund in 27 and beyond, as well as helping the Marine Corps to continue to make improvements for for the things that we're trying to get better at. So, ladies and gentlemen, would you please give a warm welcome to the Honorable Hung Cao, the Undersecretary of the Navy. All right, if you guys don't mind, I can project my voice, but I can't project my height. So that's, it's an honor to be here tonight. MCA, again, thank you for hosting these events that share our heritage. I mean, honestly, without heritage, we'd just be the Air Force. But but really, just working, just celebrating excellence. And General Schroeder, thank you, sir, for all these years. I mean, thanks for the vegan dinner. I was like, I think he thinks I work at State Department or something like that. But again, General Schroeder is the pretty face behind all this. However, the real hero is Miss Leanne Mitchell, where she is. And Mr. Garden, thank you for having me here, sir. And honestly, I'm not going to thank General Adams because he invites me and then he drops out. And it's just like dropping a flashbang and running out of room or something like that. But again, thank you for what you do. Again, Marines, thank you for being Marines. The Marine Corps was my first love. It was Marines that got me out of Vietnam in 1975. It was Marines that met us in Guam at the first refugee camp. It was also Marines that brought us to Camp Pendleton. And then when I grew up in Africa in 1979, when the Shah of Iran was overthrown, they wanted to make sure that all the Americans that were living in these Muslim countries were taken care of. So they took us all into the embassy and stood watch over us. And that look they had that night that says, nothing's going to hurt you tonight, not on my watch. Those are the heroes I wanted to grow up to be. Those Marine Security Detachment guys that stood there, stood to watch. So, of course, I grew up and went to the Navy. Only because you guys run everywhere. You run a lot. Like, you run the formation, you run the chow. I was like, some FM guy, some P&R guy forgot to get trucks or something like for you guys. So I was like, okay. No, I love what I did in the Navy. I worked a lot with the reconnaissance and the Raiders, and it's an honor. It's an honor to serve our country. And all of us want to kick in doors and shoot people in the face, but we need the people in the P&R positions to do what they do, because you guys are bringing the capabilities to our Marines on the ground every day. Let me tell you the story. In 1943, the USS Astoria, this destroyer, was fighting the Japanese, and one of the turrets blew up, and this young petty officer, Signalman Second Class Staples, was thrown overboard. And he was wearing this life preserver belt that saved his life. And he was floating in the water for a few hours until USS Andrew Jackson picked him up and brought him back to the ship. And the Astoria kept fighting until it was sunk. And he had to jump over the side again, and still wearing the same belt that saved his life the first time. So they sent him home for a little R&R back in Akron, Ohio. And he looked, OH? There you go. So he's inspecting his belt, and it was made in his hometown. So he went home, and his mom greeted him. She loved him, and she said, I've been doing my fair share for the war also. I work at this company called Firestone. And he goes, oh. He ran back and grabbed the belt and showed her, because it was made at the Firestone in his hometown. And she inspected the belt. She flipped over this little tab, and she started crying because there was a little number on there. That was her serial number. She made that life preserver that saved her son's life twice. So what you do every day when we're getting equipment for our sailors and Marines, that's what's going to, you don't know whose life you might save. It might be my son, who's going to be a Marine. It might be your sons and daughters. It might be America's sons and daughters. That's why what we do is so important. So thank you for what you do every day, ladies and gentlemen. Keep doing it. We're killing it out there. And again, I was telling General Schroeder too that yes, we're trying to do the best with the budget we have. But at the end of the day, don't forget it's that Marine that makes it all work. We can have crappy equipment and great Marines, and we're going to make it work. But we have great equipment and crappy Marines, it's just never going to work. So keep doing what you're doing.
God bless you guys all, and thank you all the everybody that works hard every day, especially with the clean audit. Just know, I'm always, I'm never above you, I'm never below you, I'm always beside you. Semper Fi. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the third annual Programs and Resources Financial Management Awards Ceremony. It is with sincere pleasure today that we recognize the superb performance of individuals from our Marine Corps financial management community, especially since these individuals directly contributed to an unmodified audit opinion within the Department of War for the third year. We'd also like to recognize the very special contributions and dedication of our award recipients' families and families of all our Marines. For without their support, the exemplary performance of their Marines would not have been possible. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in a round of applause for those families. On the stage is the Honorable Hung Kao, Mr. Edward Gardner, and Lieutenant General Charles Shiroti to present this year's recipients their awards. The first award is the Financial Management Officer of the Year. Mr. John Moore and Paul Gulbranson of RenVision, which sponsors this award, will now join us on stage. In partnership with P&R and MNRA, RenVision is enabling MILPER's strategic resource management decisions and unity of effort between the PPBEA and HRDP processes. RenVision's systems, data, and process integration strategies are facilitating Marine Corps integrated business operations, transparency, and providing decision makers with the means to synergize effective resource management in support of statutory requirements. The recipient of the Financial Management Officer of the Year is Captain Brandon J. Hosford from Headquarters, U.S. Marine Corps Forces Pacific. For professional achievement in the superior performance of his duties while serving as Budget Year Execution Officer, Marine Corps Forces Pacific during calendar year 2025. Throughout this period, Captain Hosford distinguished himself as the only Marine Corps financial management officer to directly resource all three MEFs in a single year, expertly directing more than $1 billion across the world's most contested theater. His decisive leadership while serving concurrently in multiple senior billets ensured combat-credible forces remained resourced and ready, directly enabling Homeland Defense operations under Operation Titus. Furthermore, his pioneering efforts in building enterprise cost accounting structures captured $34 million in additional authority, while his development of multinational financial tracking systems was instrumental in securing $36 million in Joint Chiefs of Staff exercise funds, despite civilian furloughs. Captain Hosford's exceptional professionalism, technical expertise, and dedication to duty reflected credit on him and were in keeping with the highest traditions of the Marine Corps and the United States Naval Service. Our next award is the Financial Management Resource Officer of the Year. Mr. Corey Mechny and Chad Romali of CGI, which sponsors this award, will now join us on stage. CGI Federal is an innovative technology company focused on accelerating mission outcomes across defense, civilian, healthcare, justice, intelligence, and international affairs. We deliver cutting-edge technology solutions and IP leveraging AI, cyber, data, and other technologies to advance the federal government with speed and precision. The recipient of the Financial Management Resource Officer of the Year is Chief Warrant Officer 3 Nathaniel Craghead from Headquarters 3rd Marine Air Wing. Accepting the award on his behalf is Major Matt Schulman. For meritorious service while serving as Financial Management Resource Officer, Marine Wing Headquarters Squadron 3, 3rd Marine Air Wing, from January to December 2025. During this period, Chief Warrant Officer 3 Craghead demonstrated exceptional leadership and technical expertise by pioneering reporting advancements and providing critical financial training and support to 2nd and 3rd MEF and MAR 4PAC. Through his technical proficiency, he reimagined methods for correcting transaction errors and automated multiple processes, leading to significant increases in efficiency and accuracy. Furthermore, by leveraging SharePoint to ensure the maintenance of documentation and promptly notify appropriate personnel, he dramatically reduced response times, securing the optimal use of 3rd Marine Air Wing's $46.5 million budget, and improving resource management across the wing. Chief Warrant Officer 3 Craghead's professionalism, personal initiative, and dedication to duty reflected credit on him and were in keeping with the highest traditions of the Marine Corps and the United States Naval Service. Our next award is the Financial Management Resource Analyst Non-Commissioned Officer of the Year. Ms. Sunshine Long of Information Dimension Partners, which sponsors this award, will now join us on stage. Information Dimension Partners equips clients to tackle resource management challenges head-on, delivering precise, innovative solutions that drive results and mission success. The recipient of the Financial Management Resource Analyst Non-Commissioned Officer of the Year is Sergeant Bowen Huang from Headquarters 3rd Marine Division. For professional achievement in the superior performance of his duties while serving as Financial Management Resource Analyst, G8, 3rd Marine Division, during calendar year 2025. Throughout the year, Sergeant Huang meticulously executed 8 budget execution reviews, significantly improving fiscal visibility and enabling informed decision-making at all command levels. His oversight of more than $5 million in accounting corrections across 150 documents ensured the proper obligation and liquidation of funds, while his submission of 80 budget execution validation samples valued at over $500,000 directly strengthened financial accountability and audit readiness. Furthermore, he conducted 4 financial assist visits to subordinate supply units, identifying and correcting discrepancies critical to inspection compliance. He resolved 42 JIRA requests, addressing segregation of duty compliance and defense agencies' initiative system errors, and maturely managed 19 procurement integrated enterprise environment user accounts, ensuring uninterrupted operations across the command. Sergeant Huang's exceptional professionalism, technical expertise, and dedication to duty reflected credit on him and were in keeping with the highest traditions of the Marine Corps and the United States Naval Service. Our next award is the Financial Management Resource Analyst Staff Non-Commissioned Officer of the Year. Lieutenant General John Whistler, United States Marine Corps retired, of 1st Command, which sponsors this award, will now join us on stage. With a vision of lifelong financial security for our nation's military families, 1st Command has been the financial coach of those who serve for over 65 years. The recipient of the Financial Management Resource and Analyst Staff Non-Commissioned Officer of the Year is Staff Sergeant Jasmine P. Navarro from the 22nd Marine Expeditionary Unit. For her superior performance and professional achievement as Comptroller Chief for the 22nd Marine Expeditionary Unit, Staff Sergeant Navarro's expertise was instrumental to mission success. She directly supervised the auditing of over 40 contracts and $5 million in services, ensuring critical training was completed to meet deployment requirements across the MAGTF. Her meticulous correction of $214,000 in unmatched transactions was pivotal, keeping the unit auditable, financially flexible for urgent tasks, and primed for real-world operations. When the 22nd MEU was unexpectedly diverted to Southern Command, she expertly managed a surge of travel, contracts, and critical supply purchases, sustaining high levels of operational and material readiness. Despite these complex challenges and a government shutdown, her fiscal stewardship enabled the unit to end the year with a 97% obligation rate, having executed over $23 million. Staff Sergeant Navarro's noteworthy accomplishments, technical expertise, and complete dedication to duty reflected credit upon her and were in keeping with the highest traditions of the Marine Corps and the United States Naval Service. Our next award is the Finance Officer of the Year. Ms. Rachel Lyons of Kearney & Company, which sponsors this award, will now join us on stage. Kearney & Company is one of the top 5 CPA firms providing financial, technology, and other mission support services to government. With 1,300 plus professionals, Kearney brings the scale, rigor, and solutions expected of the largest firms to support government missions. Consistently ranked one of the best places to work, Kearney's strength is in its people and its focus on the public sector. The recipient of the Finance Officer of the Year is Chief Warrant Officer 3 Blake Struther from Regional Dispersing Office Pacific, 3rd Marine Logistics Group. As the fiscal officer in charge, Regional Dispersing Office Pacific Detachment in Okinawa, Chief Warrant Officer 3 Struther expanded expeditionary cash support and strengthened mission execution across the Indo-Pacific. In 2025, he oversaw 11,181 transactions, totaling over $32 million, ensuring daily reconciliation with the U.S. Treasury and uncompromising fiscal integrity. He led dispersing and paying agent operations across 13 countries, training 47 agents and enabling 730 foreign currency purchases, exceeding $31 million. He strengthened joint readiness by training Army, Air Force, and Navy personnel and improving inter-service coordination. Most notably, he spearheaded limited depository account modernization, establishing an LDA in Taiwan, now used routinely by Marine and Joint Forces while advancing initiatives in Vietnam, Mongolia, and Bhutan. Through exceptional leadership and technical mastery, he enabled U.S. Indo-PACOM objectives and elevated audit readiness across the force. Our next award is the Financial Technician Non-Commissioned Officer of the Year. Ms. Kim Myers of KPMG, which sponsors this award, will now join us on stage. KPMG has been providing advisory services and industry insight to government clients for over 100 years, helping organizations address their most complex challenges and capitalize on their most significant opportunities. The recipient of the Financial Technician Non-Commissioned Officer of the Year is Sergeant Miguel Valdivia III from Marine Corps Base Hawaii, Marine Corps Installations Pacific. Throughout 2025, Sergeant Valdivia delivered exceptional leadership across the fiscal, internal controls, and pay sections at Marine Corps Base Hawaii. Filling critical gaps as Fiscal Chief, Pay Staff NCOIC, and Internal Controls Chief, he ensured continuity, strengthened controls, and sustained readiness. As the primary fiscal auditor, he certified over $7 million in collections and helped drive a 99.28% score during the FY25 Marine Corps Administrative Analysis Audit. In pay and separations, he executed joint audits, directed key pay adjustments, and managed separation payments with precision, while earning the top TAD reporting score at 96.57%. He also cut claim processing time from 7 days to 2, improving support for Marines and their families and strengthening financial integrity across the command. Our next award is the Financial Technician Staff Non-Commissioned Officer of the Year. Mr. Joe Rizzo, President and Managing Partner of Targeted Approach, which sponsors this award, will now join us on stage. Targeted Approach is a small business which provides support to the marine logistics and supply chain strategic analysis. The recipient of the Financial Technician Staff Non-Commissioned Officer of the Year is Staff Sergeant Dylan P. Heatherton from Regional Dispersing Office West, 1st Marine Logistics Group. As a Fiscal Deputy Dispersing Officer, Staff Sergeant Heatherton led expeditionary dispersing training for more than 100 dispersing agents, unit paying agents, and multinational logistics officers. He strengthened payment processes and improved coordination with Resource Fiscal Finance, Kansas City, and Indianapolis. During multiple leadership transitions, he ensured continuity at RDO West and delivered a 96.21% score during the 2025 MCAT inspection. Hand-selected for an expeditionary training working group, he helped develop advanced training materials and later served as an observer, coach, and trainer for the U.S. Army Reserve exercise, Diamond Saber. He executed more than 3,500 payments totaling $189 million and processed 415 collection vouchers totaling $26.8 million, while resolving line of accounting discrepancies with DFAS Indianapolis. His leadership and innovation continued to strengthen readiness across RDO West. Our next award is the Civilian Financial Manager of the Year, GS9 and below. Ms. Sarisha Dina, CEO of InfoPact, which sponsors this award, will now join us on stage. InfoPact Inc. provides enterprise cloud data management, AI-enabled automation, and financial operations, delivering audit-ready traceability, control metrics, and operational analytics. With 20 years of DoD SAP and Oracle ERP experience, including the Defense Agencies Initiative, Navy ERP, GCSS Marine Corps, and DLA EBS, InfoPact supports finance, acquisitions, and supply chain missions. The recipient of the Civilian Financial Manager of the Year, GS9 and below, is Mrs. Kimberly Hipp from the Regional Dispersing Office Pacific, 3rd Marine Logistics Group. For professional achievement in the superior performance of her duties while serving as Debt Management Monitor, CLR 37, 3rd Marine Logistics Group, from January 2025 to December 2025. During this period, Mrs. Hipp led the debt management team in validating over $1.7 million in traveler debt and ensured the timely satisfaction of an additional $1.8 million back to the U.S. government. She implemented innovative solutions, including a centralized debt management group and a streamlined tracker, which reduced the reconciliation process by 50% and significantly improved efficiency. Furthermore, as a lead defense travel administrator, she conducted training for over 15 units and spearheaded an initiative that reduced the backlog of 1,000 unsubmitted travel vouchers to fewer than 60 in 1 month, improving the Defense Travel System program for the entirety of 3rd MEF and MCI PAC. Mrs. Hipp's expertise, utmost dedication, and commitment to service reflected great credit upon herself and were in keeping with the highest traditions of government service. Our next award is the Civilian Financial Manager of the Year, GS11 and above. Mr. Gunter Hubert and Paul Gobranson of RenVision, which sponsors this award, will now join us on stage. The recipient of the Civilian Financial Manager of the Year, GS11 and above, is Ms. Cynthia Younger from Marine Corps Payroll Reconciliation Team, P&R, Headquarters Marine Corps. For professional achievement in the superior performance of her duties while serving as a financial manager for the Marine Corps. During this period, Ms. Younger spearheaded the pre-validation process for household goods payments, ensuring accuracy across 250,000 transactions valued at $450 million, while reducing associated man-hours by more than half. Her foresight in forecasting transportation costs enabled the identification and reallocation of $105 million in budget assets, directly enhancing fiscal readiness. Furthermore, as a key financial voice for the global housing contract, she safeguarded fiscal accountability in high-level forums and maintained a flawless audit readiness record. Ms. Younger's analytical rigor, strategic vision, and unwavering dedication reflected great credit upon herself and were in keeping with the highest traditions of government service. Our next award is the Marine Corps Comptroller Organization of the Year from the Operating Forces. Ms. Mary Ahern, Significant CEO, which sponsors this award, will now join us on stage. Significance is a woman-owned small business delivering mission-critical solutions and cutting-edge technical services to federal customers. Significance specializes in AI and machine learning, data strategy, automation, and business solutions like financial services, audit remediation, and ERP. The recipient of the Marine Corps Comptroller Organization of the Year from the Operating Forces is the 22nd Marine Expeditionary Unit. Receiving the award on behalf of the organization is Staff Sergeant Navarro. The Marines of the 22nd Marine Expeditionary Unit Comptroller Office demonstrated exceptional dedication and expertise in the stewardship of public funds. Their meticulous stewardship of public funds resulted in a near flawless 99.9% budget execution rate, which directly enhanced the global response capabilities and operational readiness of the unit. Throughout 2025, their unwavering fiscal integrity was pivotal in meeting dynamic operational requirements. By ensuring complete and accurate accountability of all funds, the Comptroller's Office enabled the rapid procurement of mission-essential equipment from an emergent joint service training exercise, directly fueling the unit's ability to execute complex missions on a moment's notice. The noteworthy accomplishments, perseverance, and devotion to duty demonstrated by the Comptroller's Office reflect great credit upon themselves and are in keeping with the highest traditions of the Marine Corps and the United States Naval Service. Our next award is the Marine Corps Comptroller Organization from the Supporting Establishment of the Year. Ms. Donna Sullivan of Redwood Strategy Group, which sponsors this award, will now join us on stage. Redwood Strategy Group is an SBA-certified small management and technology consulting firm that specializes in enterprise solutions and integration, financial management transformation and optimization, data analytics and process automation, and acquisition support for Department of War and Department of Homeland Security organizations operating in audit-intensive and oversight-driven environments. RSG is also pioneering the use of generative AI and synthetic cognition to advance processes through an SBIR contract and currently supports P&R and Marine Corps Systems Command. The recipient of the Marine Corps Comptroller Organization of the Year from the supporting establishment is the 12th Marine Corps District. Receiving the award on behalf of the organization is Major Daniel Jagers. The Marines and civilian employees of the 12th Marine Corps District Comptroller's Office demonstrated exceptional dedication and expertise in the stewardship of public funds. Their meticulous oversight resulted in a 99.9% budget execution rate during 2025, flawlessly managing over $20 million in appropriated funding. This directly enhanced the operational readiness and capabilities of the 12th Marine Corps District. The unit's commitment to excellence was further exemplified by their superior attention to detail in identifying and correcting abnormal financial transactions, ensuring the highest degree of fiscal integrity, contributing to audit sustainment. The noteworthy accomplishments, perseverance, and devotion to duty of the Comptroller's Office reflect great credit upon themselves and are in keeping with the highest traditions of the Marine Corps and the United States Naval Service. Our next award is the Marine Corps Dispersing or Finance Organization of the Year. Mr. Jonathan Leong Sung of Infotech Consulting, which sponsors this award, will now join us on stage. At Infotech Consulting, we believe mission success is built on trust, discipline, and results. We're proud to support the Marine Corps Programs and Resources community and to honor the professionals whose work makes that mission possible. The recipient of the Marine Corps Dispersing or Finance Organization of the Year is Finance Office, Marine Corps Base Kaneohe Bay. Receiving the award on behalf of the organization is Chief Warrant Officer 2 Dale Staton and Mr. Larry McNair. The Marines and civilian employees of the Marine Corps Base Kaneohe Bay Finance Office demonstrated exceptional dedication and expertise in the execution of more than 7,000 financial transactions totaling more than $34 million. Their meticulous attention to detail resulted in a score of 97.14% on the annual Marine Corps Administrative Analysis Team analysis, an outstanding grade. Notably, the fiscal processes received a rating of 99.28%, ensuring proper recording of financial transactions executed by the office. Additionally, the Finance Office created a new process to streamline temporary lodging allowance, greatly improving the accuracy and timeliness of payments and improved customer service to the Marines and families they support. The noteworthy accomplishments, proficiency, and devotion to duty of the Finance Office reflect great credit upon themselves and are in keeping with the highest traditions of the Marine Corps and the United States Naval Service. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give one more round of applause to our awardees. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce one more time Lieutenant General Charles Shiroti.
Ladies and gentlemen, the voice. If you've ever visited a parade at 8th and I, you'll recognize that voice. That's the Commandant's voice, or official voice, I should say. But Staff Sergeant Dell, thank you so much. Well done tonight. Another round of applause. Tonight truly would not have come together if it not for one person, and I owe her a great debt of gratitude tonight. So thank you, Leanne. I'm glad they undercut it. Thank you so much. I told them to call you out, so that's good. Ladies and gentlemen, this does conclude our event tonight. Thank you so much. Congratulations to all the awardees. I wish all of you a safe passage home tonight, and we'll see you next time. Semper Fidelis. Thank you.